Oh, right. Hello and welcome, everyone. So, it is the Lunar New Year, and most recently, that means that there's new cosmetic items in Warframe that we're going to go over. First and foremost, there's some weird nonsense going on with this release of the Lunar New Year stuff, as the bundles are not great. Talk about why that is. We, on the front page here, just have the 3 bundles that are out with this release. And to talk about it real quickly and in a real understandable way, this is the biggest bundle, and it doesn't contain everything. It does not have all of the new cosmetic items in it. What it does have is a bunch of random boosters and kuva and credits and ribbons for some inconceivable reason, and it has some of the cosmetics. If you wanted to get all of the cosmetics, you would need to also grab this bundle, which has some more of the cosmetics, but again, not all of them, and also not the rest of them. That is also bloated with kuva, credits, and boosters, and also ribbons. And even on the smallest end, this bundle that has 2 of the other cosmetics, the rest of them, is also boosters, kuva, and credits, but not ribbons this time. So, it's weird. I don't know why these bundles are this way, where none of them contain everything and every single one of them is bloated with nonsense that you might not want. If you do want the stuff in the bundle with the boosters and all this other stuff, it's like a reasonable plat price for it based on the other stuff in the market. But it's just really inconvenient and like needlessly more platinum to purchase these bundles. That being said, you can easily go to the featured section and go to seasonal, and all of the items are here individually with a note that you can get the other bundle that's not on the front page, which is the Dragon Dance Sentinel skin bundle, as a cheap way to get the full Sentinel if you want the Sentinel. So all the items are all alone by themselves, just to individually purchase whichever thing you want, which I like a lot. But the bundles just seem totally needless at best, and, you know, misleading people to buy things that they don't need at worst. That being said, it's not as bad as the Heirloom situation, where there wasn't the ability to just piecemeal what you want out of it. And if you just bought singleton all of the cosmetic items and the bundle for the Dragon Dance Sentinel skin, it actually comes out to be cheaper than what the largest pack is here with all of this extra stuff in it. So it could be much, much worse. But it's not a great look, I think, and I hope that this doesn't give us a preview of coming attractions with the Heirloom skins, or maybe it would be fine for that to be the case, to have everything in an like the new Heirloom packs that we know are coming be individually purchasable. That would probably solve all the problems possible that we had with the last Heirloom skins, but it's kind of messy. That being said, to talk about the actual cosmetics themselves, I think that the Sentinel looks really cool. Really like this. This is basically like, you know, a variant on Worm Prime more so than anything else, but, you know, that's basically a dragon as well. And I think it looks really cool. The Ogress skin is neat. However, if you have the Unreal Tournament skin, I think that that is infinitely better than this one, and that is still available on the Epic Store to my knowledge. The Dual Sword skin, I think, is really cool. Problem with this, the only dual swords that I can think of that are worth using are the Dual Ichor, and when they transform, they don't look like this anymore, because Incarnants ignore skins on transformation, so that's a bit rough. And then we have the Nucor skin, which I think looks great. This is basically like, you can color this to be basically Nucor Prime. So if you're still big heavy on using the Nucor, looks really cool, probably worth picking up. I think the floof is one of the best floofs that they have ever released. It is like the new Chroma Deluxe skin, basically just made adorable, and like he's in a big hoodie that his dragon skin, which is cool. Love it. Love to see that. Very fun. One of the best floofs I've ever seen. A Sugatra, which I think is like pretty low value, but this one is nice. But Sugatras are a bit of a hard sell, though it's only 15 platinum. The sigils and stuff, not really a factor for me, but they are there. And finally, we have the big stuff, I would say, which is the emote, which I think is really cool. Although I will say I wish that they would just give us the emote and not have these things appear. I think that a lot of emotes would be made better by not having this big symbol, or by having 2 versions of the emote, one that just doesn't have this and one that does. Because I think a lot of times these emotes are ruined by having like a big flash of whatever the sigil is just like pop up, and otherwise it would be fun to use. And then we have the Zhanglong ephemera, which I think is awesome. Very cool ephemera. I think it's, 60 is on the cheap side for an ephemera that looks like this, as I would consider this to be like a prime accessories quality ephemera that matches your color scheme and everything like that. I think it looks excellent, and I will definitely be picking this up. And finally, we have the Chroma Zunlong skin, which looks like he's about to drop the worst opinion you've ever heard about the Corpus, in my opinion, but I think this skin is fine. It's fine. I think that there's no problems with this skin. We're going to show random colors and stuff on this in a moment. But, like, it's fine. It comes with these additional, like, these are optional little, like, flame wings on it that you can put on any of the Chroma skins. And I think that this is a totally acceptable Chroma skin. The main issue with this skin, actually, is that Chroma right now just kind of sucks. He is suffering from power creep having happened, and him not following power creep down the road, and also being one of the worst designs ever released into Warframe, where his kit is essentially 2 useless abilities and then 2 abilities that could just have been a mod. So he's not in a very good place. That being said, if you like playing as him because he is a dragon, then enjoy, have fun, and if you like the skin, then that's fine too. But yeah, I'm going to grab all of these cosmetics, because obviously that is not a problem for me, and I'm showing them off in this video for you, so that's kind of the whole thing here. And we're going to go through and just show all of the customizations on each of them. So yeah, I will be right back after grabbing all this stuff. Okay, here we are with all of the items. I have to say I'm actually very pleasantly surprised with how this skin colors. Just to go through a few randoms, I have checked these out a little bit beforehand, and this color's way better than I thought it was going to. It's actually quite versatile in terms of where the color channels are, and just what you can do with them. Something like this doesn't work on a lot of skins, I find. But I think that this is close to working here. I'd probably change the white a little bit. But actually quite good. Just going through a bunch of randoms, I've seen a bunch of these that I think work really well. Also, a thing that is worth noting is that if you just like this helmet on the Chroma Prime, just normal Chroma Prime, I think this helmet actually fits really well and fits right in with the usual color scheme. And that is actually, I think, super surprising. Also works on Dynasty reasonably well as well. Going back to the regular Chromas, not so much. But even on the Tenogen, I think that this is a good helmet for Chroma, which I was not anticipating. So that is a good thing. Of note, the effigy version, if you ever plan on using your 4, does make you look, as usual, like a big fucking dweeb. But, that's just the normal stuff for Chroma. So you're used to it by now, I'm sure, if you are a Chroma player. But yeah, I think that this skin is actually really nice, and the other skins follow suit with that. If we look at the Ogress here, we've got just good coloring all the way around. I think there's a lot of options for this. It might be a little wavy for some people's taste, but I think that there's a good balance here of what the color channels are, and the materials are good here. So if you wanted to do a Ogress Prime type look, you can definitely make that happen. So I think this is super solid. As for the new core, as I said, it's very easy just to take your usual color scheme and then just make it look like a flashier, shinier version of the new core. I know I'll be doing that in the future, but just in general, it looks really nice. These are great skins. I think that they work really well and have a lot of good options on them, kind of no matter what you want to go for. So that's fantastic. Very happy to see that and have these just be good all the way around somehow. Just very nice. These are super good swords. The big downside, of course, to the swords, as I mentioned before, is that if you use this on the dual Ichor, they will not look like this whenever you're in an incarnate form, which is, of course, what you're going to be in the vast majority of the time. But that's not really this skin's fault. That's more of just the way the incarnates work. And then as for our Sentinel skin, just doing the body a little bit here, this is actually a very nice one. And then, of course, the attachments all follow suit and copy very well. So there's, I think this Sentinel skin is probably going to be well loved by many people. I think it's very nice. I think the wing attachments work well on a couple of different Sentinels as well. So the face and the tail are probably going to be pretty exclusive to this. So there's that going as well. But yeah, I think that these skins are better than I even expected. I really thought that the kind of red parts of all of these skins were going to end up looking like very plasticky. But I'm pleasantly surprised that they're like kind of more of a matte that takes colors extremely well, I think. So yeah, I think the skins are high quality and very nice, which is good to see. I thought they were going to come off a little cheap in the end. But they're super nice. Yeah, weird on the bundles, just the way that they're structured. Just buy the stuff individually, unless you really want the other stuff that's in those bundles. I think that the bundles are like a weird thing that's like kind of, you know, the tough part about the bundles is that they are thrown up right as like the very first thing you see whenever you open the market. And that I think can be confusing for players, and you know, don't want to mislead people into thinking that they can't just grab everything individually. But yeah, I think that the skins are good. So happy to see that. But hopefully we get at least this amount of flexibility with the new heirloom packs. But hopefully this doesn't mean that with the new heirloom packs, whenever we get there, that they're going to be super bloated like these ones, as I think that that is, you know, misleading and not great for people who just like don't regularly use the market or like don't know how to go in and individually purchase things, as there can be some confusion there with people that like just don't do their research and stuff. And I'd really like to see a bundle that's just the cosmetics all together, that you also have the option of getting. Having one thing that's all of the just cosmetics at a price that is normal for that, and then having the other bundles be available is totally fine. And then having everything be individual underneath that is also totally great, and I like that. But having only bundles that are bloated with weird nonsense, I think is a little bit of a weird feeling for me personally. But yeah, that's gonna do it for the new skins and Lunar New Year stuff. Dev stream is on Friday, so hopefully we get some information on some changes to Netracells, which we know are coming. And yeah, looking forward to the dev stream. I'm going to be live streaming it, so I will hopefully see you guys there, and I will see you then. Goodbye. All right, thanks for watching, everyone, and of course, as usual, thanks very much to the patrons for supporting the channel, especially the $10 patrons: Alex Barnum, Andrew, Angel SBM, Arbiter Daydream, Benuven, Blotomatic, Brandon Coggin, Brutus Salazar, Cano Lathra, Dylan Dworsky, Thrain, Afon, James Hartshorn, GC4 Science, John Lobdell, Joshua Adams, Luzant, Bigokel, Inti Ginja, Michta, Nerve, Ramox Sedate, Ruby, Sharp247, Tamrielic Wastelander, The Coupon of Death, Homeworm, Victor Palmer, Waifu Wars Bode, and Zerafir. And of course, thank you very much to all of the $5 and $2 patrons as well. It is much appreciated. Because I've been asked this a lot, I am doing the 2024 Warframe tier list, but I need to get last year's data from whenever DE releases that, which hopefully happens on the January dev stream. But that's what's holding that up, because, you know, that kind of factors into Warframe's getting S ranks or not. But yeah, that's what's going on. And thanks. Thank you, everybody.